It's 2023. It's the last day of CES, and we're here in the. What booth is this?
This is the ATSC booth, and that's the Advanced Television Systems Committee.
And your name is?
I'm Dave Arland, and I'm a spokesman for ATSC.
Not just ATSC 1, but
ATSC 3. Yeah, ATSC 1 is what we all know as digital television. If you're using rabbit ears to get your signal, you're watching ATSC, and we're making the jump right over ATSC 2, right up to ATSC 3, which is the next generation in broadcasting in the United States and other places.
How many stations are on in the country, in the USA?
So we have stations actually right behind me. You can pan over and see this enormous map of the United States. And everywhere in orange, we have ATSC 3 stations on the air. Most markets have at least 3 or 4 broadcasters on air. 67 different places around the country where you can see ATSC 3.0.
What's the difference between blue and orange and dark blue?
So the dark blue means these are cities that are targeted for ATSC 3.0,
okay.
Coming soon in 2023. The light blue means we've actually seen paperwork filed with the Federal Communications Commission, and that's more near term. Thus, if you come over here to the map and look, Des Moines, Iowa is right here in light blue.
Des Moines?
Des Moines, Tulsa, Oklahoma, San Francisco, California, Jacksonville, Florida. All of those are coming soon. And very important, way down there on the bottom is Miami, Florida. And that's important because Miami, Florida.
Miami's orange there.
They are orange, and that means they're on air. They went on air this week for CES.
And the blue one is like Jacksonville, right?
Right. Light blue means coming soon. Dark blue means these are cities that are targeted in the rest of the year.
And I see Tucson and Yuma down here.
Tucson and Yuma is among those that are dark blue and coming soon.
Okay. In Las Vegas, I have a Zapper box myself.
That's great. Actually, the Zapper box is the first of the ATSC set-top boxes, the upgrade accessory boxes for ATSC 3 that is available. It's available from Zapper Box directly. They'll also be on Amazon in about a month.
On sale $249.
Yes.
And I set one up in my hotel room on Boulder Highway at the Longhorn. Real close, just look out and there's Black Mountain. And I got channel 29 with channels the CBS and ABC 8 and 13. Channel 33 with channel 30, it was a Hispanic station. There were 2 subs on that. And in my car, I also got channel 6, KDHD LD, which is Acid FM 87.7. And I don't know what's on their video side.
I don't know if there's anything on their video side. I think it might just be music. And actually the owner of that station was here a couple days ago. So those are good examples. In most of these markets that are on air, we have ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and in some cases PBS. That's not the case universally, but obviously this is a process, a transition to get us to what we here in the industry and at the show call ATSC 3. But if you pan up right above you, there's the name that most consumers should be looking for, and that's NextGenTV.
Yeah, you'll see that on your Sony TV box.
That's right. So Sony is incorporating this in every model that they're selling today. Also selected sets from Samsung, from LG Electronics, and from Hisense also have ATSC 3 built in. And as you mentioned with the Zapper box and with others that are coming, there are set-top boxes out there that will help you upgrade. Even if you don't have a brand new TV, you can upgrade your old TV.
Have you heard anything about the loss of the pay TV service using ABSC on January 6th that shut down? Evoca, is that the name of it?
Yes, Evoca was a service, very innovative, the idea of using the capabilities of ATSC 3, both over the air and over the internet, to offer a less expensive service to consumers. So unfortunately that went belly up, but that's the nature of innovation. Sometimes things work out.
I'm looking for them on the map. They were in Boise.
They're in Idaho, so they're up in here. So they were using a low power ATSC 3
They had 33
stations.
and 34 in Boise.
Right. They also had stations and services in other markets.
Portland, Phoenix, Denver.
In Michigan.
And
Yeah, Phoenix, yeah.
And they'd sell you a package. They were trying to sell it at $25 a month. You know, that's a history that's gone through from day one in television. People are trying to encrypt and sell services for over-the-air TV. Have you ever heard that working out?
Sure. I mean, cable is a good example of that.
No. Over the air with the rabbit ear.
Well, they followed the law, and that is they had to have one service that was available for free, but nothing in the law.
Right. They ran BYU. We're going to be on BYU TV.
There isn't
free.
a law about what it is you're running, just that you have to have at least one free over-the-air service. I don't think the issue was that they didn't have a good product. I think it was undercapitalized. And I would posit the opposite of what you're suggesting, and that is I think there's going to be a tremendous amount of new pay-for services.
No, I'm just thinking, see, I'm sort of old. Yeah. I was born in the 50s, and I remember on TV and several other over-the-air pay scrambled services. Some of them had adult content, and every over-the-air service that wanted you to pay for it failed after a year or two.
Well, there's a terrific example right here, a phone where it's a pay-for wireless service. So I'm not worried about that. I would point to the number one bullet over there on the wall, which is what we're about with ATSC3 is it's a free broadcast television service. And that's what's going to be popular for consumers. The familiar programming on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and PBS.
Unless you were Evoca and it was $25 a month.
Those things were all free on Evoca as well. ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and PBS. They were all free.
That wasn't my experience with my Zapper box when I was there in Idaho in September. Only BYU was free.
Well, that in part, we're in the weeds, just so you know. In part, that's because ABC, NBC, Fox, etc., is not yet on the air in Boise. The only thing on the air in Boise was Evoca's own service.
That's what you're saying.
Right.
You're saying that they would have their own. Well, maybe now that Evoca has gone tits up, they will use those transmitters and get on as free services. I don't know what's going to happen to those. Have you heard?
I haven't heard. I'm not sure. They were leasing service from some of the low-power operators. But I think that this is the nature of innovation. We're here at the Consumer Electronics Show. There were 112,000 people here, 3,200 exhibitors. I think that's right, Sam, 3,200. 4,649 media people. Not every product that we saw on the floor, you can hear the carpet being ripped up right behind us. Not everything is going to make it, and that is the nature of innovation. But we're hopeful that we do have good success with ATSC3. We've got lots of progress. By the time we get together again a year from now and you chat with Madeline, she will be able to report that these services are available in 75% of the country. And there's another very important fact that I think sometimes gets missed, and that is the number of people already upgrading to buy these television sets. 14,000 people a day are buying a NextGenTV, and that's today, tomorrow, and every day for the rest of this year.
Let's hope so. Usually, this has been my experience at any Best Buy. If you go in and ask them, what is NextGenTV? What is ATSC? Can you get I want a set that has that, and they will say, what's that?
Well, that's why we have a website, watchnextgentv.com. You can go there, you can identify. We know that most people research before they make a major purchase like a television. Even though they're very affordable, the least expensive is a 43-inch from Sony that's $599, but most people are making a larger purchase than that. And so you can go on the website, find the models that have that. You're right, there's some work to do with Best Buy and other retailers. But I think as this snowball begins going down the hill, not only is it an opportunity for television, for set-top receivers, right behind your cameraman Robert in fact, let's walk over here.
Okay.
Because there's some cool things on the wall here. Here is the return of rabbit ears, and it's not the rabbit ears of yore, it's rabbit ears that are optimized to receive over-the-air television.
Yeah, the hot one is the Spanish one, Televez, right?
Yeah, Televez is a Spanish company. Actually, everything inside the Televez antenna is made in Spain.
Right.
So Televez is not a name that means anything more than just like television, but that's a Spanish company that has a very high bar in terms of their components. They're actually going to be in Menards hardware stores.
Oh, great.
If you have a Menards near you, you're going to see this very antenna, the De Novo.
I'm sure Lowe's carries them too.
Lowe's carries them online. Yes, yeah. And there's other examples here from Antennas Direct.
Very nice one, yeah.
And Antop. And
nice
there's even,
one.
Over here is a little Mohu.
The Mohu Sail. That's the Mohu Sail.
Is it? I wasn't sure if it was the Leaf or the Sail.
The Leaf is a flat, floppy thing.
Okay.
And that one
have
is
you,
the Sail.
Have you had any experience with that one?
They're pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah, they're sort of the basis, which is it better or worse than a Mohu,
Well, I think there is a resurgence in this business of over-the-air television, in part driven by cord cutters. People just say, I've had it with cable, I don't want to pay anymore. In part, people like my daughter. She's 28, she's a cord never. She's never had a cord, other than Dad's cord.
I beg your pardon.
Yes, so she's a really good example of somebody for whom this kind of new service is really ideal. So hopefully she'll be buying an antenna soon.
Have you seen Tyler Klein, the antenna man?
Tyler was here on day one and doing his own interviews and talking to people about the innovation. So yeah, he was here.
And gosh, have we exhausted this topic yet? I don't know. So in the market I live in, Los Angeles, has Fox, and Fox has KTLA, which is NextGen, and they recently flopped transmitters. They were on RF 13 with ATSC and RF 11, which is a Fox 11, and that wasn't working out because the regular ATSC was too degraded. One antenna is behind the other now. So they switched, or it's going to work better if we switch it around. So now the ATS3 is on RF13 KCOP, and the one went back to Fox 11. So that's going on there. There's a big hawking old KZNO Big Bear is the Franken FM with Venture Technology Group in Los Angeles.
You live in LA?
Yeah.
Did you happen to watch the Rose Bowl parade?
Yes.
In NextGen?
Oh, of course. I live down the street from that.
We had a visitor to the booth here this week who has one of the early set-top boxes, and he was talking about the amazing picture quality in 1080p to see all the rose petals on the parade floats and such. Almost as good as being in Pasadena, almost.
Which speaks to the capabilities of NextGen, because there's a significant amount of bandwidth that needs, and of course I believe they're running it at 26 megabytes a second on the 13 KCOP signal if you're tuning it in. Now it's available on either. You know, the KTLA has their regular old HD on RF35, and they have the NextGen on RF13 if you have a NextGenTV and a high band V antenna to get it. But yes, it looked stunning.
It kind of makes me want to see it, you know, a recording of it, but also honestly, I'd love to go to Pasadena on New Year's Day or the day after and see the parade.
Yeah, I sort of live there.
You probably don't want people visiting, but...
No, we love it. And in fact, what I did is I went to see the floats after they were parked into the street. We were in the middle. There was a real opening in the rain. We've had, big rain lately.
Yes.
So, but that has always, since the dawn of television, been a tremendous showpiece for color and high definition. And KTLA, in fact, on their RF35 ATSC1 and RF13 ATSC3, repeat that all day from the live at 8 a.m. till midnight. It's Rose Parade all day, so really? That's where people are watching it.
You bring up a really good point, and that was the very first coast-to-coast color cast was on January 1st, 1954. And you're right, it has been a showcase for new technology, so it's great that people had a chance to see it. We hope, Frank, that when you come back next year, we've got a full map, 75% coverage, even more television brands, even more of these set-top boxes that are behind me here, and more antennas sold, but more importantly, more of your viewers watching NextGenTV.
Okay, that sounded like a wrap-up.
A little bit, yeah. Because they're ready to pull the carpet up here at CES.
It is 4. Is it 4 o'clock?
It is.
It's 8 minutes after 4. CES is over. Bong, bong, bong. 2023 in the books, and that's the report from NextGenTV. We didn't catch Madeline, their fearless leader, but we did catch
Dave.
And that's Dave. See you next time.